There is a brand new ARG in progress right now, and it's connected to an upcoming game called Exoborne. So Exoborne is this futuristic kind of extraction shooter. You can see here they describe it as a tactical open world extraction shooter set in apocalyptic US, transformed by extreme forces of nature. So big parts of it seem to be these exosuits, lots of vertical movement, scavenging, crafting, PvP as well as PvE, and these giant storms. So it seems like a really cool game. And on the website, you might notice at the top, there's this thing called Rehack. So Rehack is the ARG, and I've been taking a bit of an interest in this. There's only been the first puzzle for it so far, but it's already attracted a community that's been working really, really hard on it, and it seems like new steps are going to be launched every couple of weeks or so. So obviously I'll be streaming it whenever a new step goes live to try and work it out and help the community to work it out, but I wanted to show you what it's all been about so far. So this is the Rehack website, and this is where the ARG is going to be taking place. You can see there's a bunch of different triangles here. I'm assuming they will be the different sort of parts to the ARG. Only the first one is available right now. It's at 1-1. And you can see this number up here, 7378. That's the number of people that have solved this so far. So if you want to try and solve this yourself, by all means, stop this video, go over to exoborne.com/rehack, give it a go yourself, or in this video I'll show you at least how to complete the first part, and then on future streams we'll be tackling the other parts as they open. Now it does help if you sign in, because you can't send more than 5 messages to the server without signing in, so make sure you make an account. Right, so let's go into the first one. You can see here it is a sort of console command interface. So just like if people have used the command prompt in Windows, they'll kind of know what this is like. If you type in help, you can see all of the different commands that are available to you. And then if you type in view readme.txt, then you can kind of see the instructions for this. And the instructions are pretty straightforward. It's kind of laying the groundwork for the story of this, that there is... it says, "Hello, Reborn. In the shattered remnants of a broken world, we found you." Who are they? They are voices unbound, eyes unblinded. They are Omnis. So Omnis is the person or the entity that we're kind of interacting with in this. Now, you might have noticed, those of you who are super into ARGs, that Shark Mob, who are producing this game, developing this game, Exoborne, they also developed a game called Blood Hunt. That was an awesome kind of vampire battle royale. That had some ARGs attached to it, where Omnis was also involved in that, or there was a entity in that called Omnis. Now, they have assured us that this is a separate IP completely. It's nothing to do with the Blood Hunt IP, but it's just kind of interesting. There's a little crossover there from Shark Mob. But anyway, there's some instructions here. It talks about a Thomas J. Beale. Now, Thomas J. Beale is a real person. There was a real thing where basically some miners out in the sort of, pioneering days, the 1800s, in the US, were out doing some mining over many years, got some precious metals, and then when it came time to return home, they kind of hid the metals, I guess, waiting until they could arrange to sell them. They hid them somewhere, and they made 3 kind of codes. So if something happened to them, someone in the future would be able to find this hoard of precious metals. 3 ciphers. Now, apparently the first one showed where the location was, the second one showed what was in the hoard, in the treasure hoard, and the third one showed who they wanted some of the money to go to, the sort of families of the people involved. Obviously, it never got dug up. They never came to a deal. Something terrible happened to them, I assume. And only the second cipher's ever been solved. So the second cipher that shows what's in the treasure hoard, but people don't know what the first or third cipher is. Like, no one's been able to unlock it so far. Now, all of this is kind of, a bit controversial. Maybe the treasure never really existed. Maybe the whole thing's purely fiction. But there's Wikipedia pages about it. If you want to look up Thomas J. Beale, you'll be able to find all that stuff. You don't really need to know a lot about it so far to be able to do the ARG. It's just kind of the sort of setting for it, the context of it. So the instruction says, carefully scrutinize provided text, pay meticulous attention to any words or phrases that appear meaningful, conspicuous, or otherwise connected to the Beale treasure conundrum. These could encompass names, geographical locations, numerical values, or any other potential indicators. Number 2, upon identifying these keywords, systematically arrange them in an intelligible sequence, taking into consideration the narrative context. Number 3, employ your innovative thinking and analytical prowess to assemble a message using these keywords. Contemplate the possibility of what this means, given the available information. And then finally, number 4, transmit 4 words from the deciphered message and send it to us via the send message command in the terminal. This initiative does not necessitate the resolution of the original Beale ciphers, so you don't have to solve the ciphers that have been unsolved for decades. Instead, this is a point of reference for you to showcase your decryption skills to us. The exploration commences with your decoding endeavors. So you are trying to find a 4-word phrase that you're then going to be able to send to them. That's the idea. And if you do an ls command, so you see the other files in there, there's 3 fragments for this first part: fragment 1, fragment 2, fragment 3. So you're trying to find a kind of 4-word phrase within this. Now, before we get started, there was actually a video that was like teasing this ARG just before it went live, and that had its own hidden commands in it. So this is the video that you're seeing now. It kind of just lays a little bit of groundwork. It's kind of showing a little bit of the tone of it, maybe, the setting, the context of it. But in this, there's actually a secret message. So again, I'll give you a chance. If you want to stop the video now and look for the secret message yourself, the 4-word phrase, by all means, have a look for yourself. But if not, let's go on and I'll tell you what it is. So you might have noticed in that video, there's 4 words that are kind of highlighted in bold in the kind of background of it, and that is Omnis, light guides our way. So what you can do is you can do send message, and then Omnis, that's the person you're sending the message to, or the entity you're sending to. I don't really know what Omnis is. And then light guides our way, and you can enter that, and then it comes up with a response saying, "Clever, you didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? Do not fall for the red herrings. They could be traps." So that was an idea. It kind of shows you how the system works, but that isn't the correct answer. Now, if we view the first fragment, each of these fragments is kind of a bit of the story, a bit of this Thomas Beale story. And this one does have a hidden message in it, but it's not one that helps us that much. So it just looks like a little piece of writing talking about what was happening, how did the ciphers get made, how did the treasure get found. But if you look at the first letter of each sentence, it actually spells a phrase there. So O-M-N I and then S, so omnis, and then K and then N-O-W-S, knows, and then A-L-L, all. So omnis knows all. But if you send message omnis and then omnis knows all, obviously that is only 3 words. That's not what they're looking for. They said 4 words. And you just get this kind of, oh, I typed in send wrong. There we go. So if you type in that one, omnis knows all, you just get an error message. And if you tried it where you just thought, okay, Omnis is the person you send it to, so then you can just put knows all, then you still get the same error message. So that one's not correct. If we have a look at fragment 2, that was kind of the hidden message in there. Then if you have a look at fragment 2, there's a similar idea where you could have M, then O, then T, then I, then V, which is motive, a little bit strange in that first paragraph. But then the rest of it kind of makes sense. And you see there A, then R, which is very weird because it's actually a typo. That should be a T. It should be 2 safeguard ciphers, but it doesn't work if it's a T. So an R, so you have A, R, and then E. So R, then Y, O, U. So U. So that says motive, R-U, and then we've got W-O-R-T-H-Y, worthy. So we've kind of got a weird one there. So we've got send, we could try it again, send message to Omnis, motive, R-U, worthy. That is 4 letters, but still doesn't work. But it's kind of interesting that there's some meaning in there. There's like something that we can find. So let's have a look at the third fragment. It's much longer than the others, and credit for solving this goes to the Namana98, who is a user on the Discord. They managed to work out all of this. But if you look at the first letters of this, you immediately can tell this isn't a phrase like the others. So W, so like I-I-W-W, U, that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Oh, sorry, it's another W there. So it'd be I-I-W-W-W. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. And then similarly, the next sentence, the next paragraph is R, then S, K, T. It immediately doesn't make sense. We tried messing around with it as anagrams, things like that. That didn't make sense. But there are some little kind of clues in here. So it says, I must listen and hear the 3 whispers in the shadows. That's kind of interesting. It also talks about dismissing things that are lies. or being hopeful. So the Namana had a brilliant idea of looking at the third word of each part. So if you look at the third word, it says listen, watch, observe, dispel, the guys, maybe? Listen, watch, dispel, the guys? That seems a little bit weird, but okay. It seems like at least there's a set of words that seem like they kind of go together. Then it says see truth, not lies. Now that see truth, not lies, that immediately sounds like a phrase, and you can kind of discount the rest. And if you do send message omnis, because that's who we're sending to, see truth, not lies, that is the answer to the first part of the ARG. So that was the kind of hidden code within it that you need to look for. So you needed to know that you were looking for the third word in each sentence and then look for a phrase that basically made sense, which thankfully was in the second paragraph, so you didn't have to go all the way through it. Then once you've done that, once you've like solved that, it'll say node 11 has been unlocked and the contents are now available. And then you have a video, and the video takes you to a behind the scenes featurette on the Exoborne announcement trailer, which is very, very cool. Now, all of this has been worked out over on their Discord. So over on the sort of rehack section of the Exoborne Discord, you can see that there's been a bunch of people trying to pick things apart, trying to work things out. There's a lot of very, very smart people, and you can join this community. It's still at the beginning of this ARG, so if you go over to Exoborne's website, then you can look, there's a link to the Discord on there, or there'll be one in the description below. You can join this, and when the next part of it goes live, which should be very soon in the next few days, when the next part of this goes live, you could help solve all of this. If you're not so interested in just trying to solve it and you just want to kind of watch what happens, you enjoy watching us solve all of these puzzles, I will be streaming every single part of this ARG as it goes on. So whenever a new bit goes live, I'll be running a stream where we'll be trying to work all of this out with all of the people in the Discord. So if you've got any questions about all of this, about the ARG or anything like that, let them know in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer it. I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited to see more of the game. I'm hoping through this ARG maybe we'll unlock the ability to see, you know, a little bit gameplay or get some hints about the mechanics, something like that. That would be absolutely awesome. I just always really like a good puzzle, so I'm excited about all of this. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.